Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's do the final entry into the Hamelin showcase, and then we'll take him to floor 40 of the Tower of Champions. And then floor 40, just like 30 and 35, has gravity barriers and damage walls. So I'm going to bring Hamelin as my single null gravity barrier character, and then a bunch of null damage wall characters, just to see how possible it is for him to sort of enable a team like this to go through. And then, yeah, throughout this mission there are certain stages that where the gravity barriers are very heavy. Others not so much, so I won't need Hamelin's strike shot every stage, which is nice. I will have to be careful with him though in the damage walls, and then also with these Fel names, since they have Demi-Hume Slayer. But yeah, Hamelin, he is a bounce with a null gravity barrier. He's got status recovery, and then he has a blast bump combo, which can help get out my other people's bump combos. All of whom have a pretty strong bump combo, so that's a good setup. Next up, I am using Gimlet, or Tiny, Transcendent. He is a Pierce with null damage wall, very strong homing bump combo, and then a laser strike shot, which works pretty well for this mission on the boss. Next up I'm using Gabrielle Evolution, and she's one of the most highly recommended for this mission, because null damage wall, and then a bump combo which can hit the center of a monster. And in certain places there are weak points in the center of the boss, so it can do lots and lots of damage there. She also has Light and Dark Slayer, which works on pretty much everyone on this mission. Okay, and then lastly I'm using Satan Alpha, the Ascension version, and he was a limited time from 2 summers ago, or last summer rather. He is a bounce with null damage wall, and Fiend Slayer, and Fiend Slayer works on both the Evolution and the Ascension version of the boss, I believe. So a good source of damage from him. And he also has the Wave bump combo, which can pierce through, and yeah, if the positioning is good, it can do great damage on the boss. Okay, so we're trying to get through these early stages. These are zombie loops. We want to take down the 2 Dark Magicians in the same turn, otherwise one will revive the other. Works just like Fudomyo. Actually, let's skip through this. I think this took a bit of time, so... Okay, so we skipped ahead quite a bit, and yeah, I took down the 2 Magicians, and then took out the rest of the guys. And now I can pick up this gold heart with Gimlet, and then move on to the next stage. And actually, when you are using a character without null damage wall, it's important to either start the mission with that character, because there will be a time when 4 damage walls come out and we won't be able to avoid them. Oh, I'm sorry, not on the odd turn, but the even number turn. So ideally Hamelin would have gone this turn, because the next turn they have the 4 walls coming out. I miscalculated this, but thankfully I'm playing 2-player, so I can stall here. Okay, sorry about that. Just pretend I did a Hamelin on a even number turn. Alright, but anyway, we want to go after the Babel with the gold helmet, because that is the real Babel. If we take down the element of Babel in the lower left, we'll take a lot of damage, so... Alright, with Gabriel we'll get in some Light Slayer, or Dark Slayer. And then with Satan Alpha we will get in the attack on the weak point, and we'll use the strike shot just because. Alright, so he has a speed and power up strike shot, so good damage there. Okay, and then here is the Babel, the evolution version. And then here we have a couple of gravity barriers with the around the bull guys, but they're not too much of a big deal, so I'm not going to use Hamelin Strike Shot, I believe. But I would like to get rid of the Magician, since they lower the attack and the defense of the boss. But yeah, both Gimlet and then Satan Alpha have very strong homing bump combos, so we can get a lot of damage out of them. Okay, pretty good. Alright, let's get out some more bump combos. Very, very good. Alright, and then here comes the boss sequence. So again, the Felmain, the guy on the lower left, he has Demi-Hume Slayer. So I want to try to keep Hamelin away from that guy. And then, yeah, we see the boss of Babel Ascension, and then in the center there with 2 hands. And yeah, the hands will do a variety of attacks, so we kind of want to get rid of them. Okay, there goes the Felmain, so that'll be a little bit less damage to Hamelin. And then there is this gravity barrier out, so I can't do a whole lot with Satan there. So this next turn, we'll use Hamelin Strike Shot to get rid of these gravity barriers. And yes, you all know that I like this Strike Shot very much. It's speed and power up. And then also gets rid of any gravity barriers that he touches. And yeah, again, he does not need to hit the enemy that the gravity barrier is around. Just needs to touch the gravity barrier itself. Okay, so we see the weak point in the center of Babel. Let's use Gimlet's Strike Shot, the laser Strike Shot, to pierce through. And then that will do excellent damage. It's kind of like Arthur's Strike Shot, but with additional damage from the homing shots. So yeah, excellent damage there. Okay, we'll pick up the heart and move on to the next stage. And then this stage works a little bit like floor 37 of the Tower of Champions, where if you hit some guys, everybody gets defense down, and if you hit other guys, everybody gets defense up. Okay, so the hands will fan out, and if we hit the little hands, everybody will get defense up, and if we hit the large hands, everybody will get defense down. So if we can, we want to have the large hand be kind of the last target that we hit, so that everybody ends up with defense down, and then we can do more damage to everybody. But yeah, same deal here. Once in a while, the weak point will appear in the center of the boss. So when that happens, then we want to get some piercing attacks in there. But even with everybody with defense up, it is still possible to take down some of these hands. And I'm going to try to do some damage to these little hands. And actually, if I am able to get rid of them, then that would mean just defense down, no matter who I hit. Alright, we'll hit the big hand for the defense down, and then try to get some bump combos in. That turned out okay. Alright, and then here we'll try to not hit the little hand at all, although it's difficult with all of these bump combos going everywhere. But there with Gabriel's Chain Lightning, we're able to get rid of the little hand. So now we have just the big hands. So now anybody that we hit will get the defense down, so... should be able to clear this stage this turn, yeah. Okay, third boss stage. Ideally, I would have started on not Gabriel's turn, with her closer to the boss, because all of the hands are kind of stacked up on top of each other now. So to get the chain lightning into them would do the same damage to them all, which would be big damage. But we won't be able to get them, so we'll just take them down the coming turns. But I found that if you keep all of your characters towards the top of the screen and just get the bump combos out, that seems to get the job done. So I'll work on moving everybody up. And yeah, no damage walls on this stage, so I can breathe a little bit easier with the Hamelin here. And then there are gravity barriers as well, but they're not that big of a deal, I would say, so I can save Hamelin's strike shot too. Okay. Alright, positioning is pretty good with all my guys. So we'll just keep up the pressure on the boss, just continue to do damage. Okay, I'm not sure how Gabriel teleported over there, but whatever. Alright, so I'm going to pick up the heart and then try to hit Gabriel so that her chain lightning can get into the center of the boss there. Okay, great damage. And probably some of that damage will carry over into the next stage, but it won't matter because these hands will heal everybody every other turn, I believe. Every turn or every other turn, so we'll focus on getting rid of the hands first, and if possible we'll focus on the hands that do not have the skull marks on them. If we take down the hands with the skull marks, they will shoot out healing walls, and we want to save those healing walls for when the attack on the upper right hand of Babel appears. When that attack comes out, we will get the gravity attack where everybody's HP is lowered to 1. And the healing walls, they only last 1 turn. So we definitely want to leave out the hands with the skull marks until then. Accidentally took down that guy, so that's 1 healing wall. But here I can get rid of the other hand, so that means less revival for the boss. Okay, so the gravity attack is at a 1 count, so let's go ahead and use Hamelin's strike shot. More for the speed up and power up, and also to prevent the magic circles from changing him to a chick. Okay, so 1 count goes down to 0, we take the gravity attack, and HP is reduced to 1 per character, so 4 in all. And then here I would ideally hit the healing wall, but thankfully I had a gold heart come out of nowhere, so we'll pick that up. And then the rest of the stage is just about doing damage to the boss. So with Gabrielle, let's use her strike shot, and then take advantage of her Dark Slayer to do great damage on the boss. Okay, pretty good. And then Satan Alpha can't use his strike shot, but we'll just hit Gabriel, get the chain lightning damage into the center weak point, and then take down the boss. Okay, so that was Hamelin and friends going through floor 40 of the Tower of Champions. And yeah, that was a lot of fun doing 30, 35, and 40 with him, and not as difficult as I was expecting. So yeah, there are certain situations where he's really great. I would say mostly the stages with both gravity barriers and damage walls. And also very happy to take Gimlet and Satan Alpha through here, since they're not even on the radar for anyone for this level. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.